Hi everyone. I think I'm the last person, right? So I'm jack of all trades, master of none. So I hope that this last session will give you some insights into the challenges. I think we have heard from the various speakers the different challenges of NTN. So hopefully this will give you some information. I understand there are different groups here involved in Wi-Fi as well as NTN, RF and non-RF. So let me just start. Okay, a little bit about our company. So VIAVI is a test and measurement company. So we have been around we just celebrated our 100 years, 1 century anniversary. So we are involved in lab testing and benchmarking automation. So the laser is not really working. Where should I go? Okay, that's it. Let me go back to the initial presentation. Can somebody help me to go back to my presentation? Sorry for that. So it's a good thing, right? So that you can be awake, right? So technical challenges are always there, right? So we are there as engineers, as what the founder mentioned. We are there to solve the problem, right? So a little bit about VIAVI. We are a US-based company, so we have been in the industry for a long period of time. So we deal mainly with the infrastructure industry. So we actually do a lot of work with a lot of telcos in the US, in Japan, Korea, Southeast Asia, and India. So basically, all the base station that you have today, you can safely say that is tested by VIAVI worldwide. So we are humble enough to say that. And of course, the field operations is something that we do have for handheld testing and site monitoring as well. So we are very much into many of the boards for 3GPP and O-RAN Alliance. And of course, there are NGRG and Committee for 6G. So, and also we are very much involved in the 6G and beyond 5G work in Japan itself. And some of the things that is related to standards, we are involved in it. All right, so that's where we are. Okay, this is a comprehensive solution that we have for the O-RAN. I was just having a TCon just now with some of the customers. So we are seeing a merger whereby there's this industry drive to actually drive the O-RAN into 6G. So we are working right now, being in the standards board, working with O-RAN and talking to different governments. So we are working a lot with the US government, with the Korea government, with Japan government, with the UK government, and of course, all the ecosystem within Asia as well, on how to actually bring O-RAN into 6G as well. And NTN is one of the parts that we're trying to bring together. Okay, so from VIAVI perspective, we cover the front haul all the way to the back. So we can see that from the UE emulation side, we basically generate thousands and thousands upon UEs. So people like AT&T, Verizon, Dish, or even Docomo, Rakuten, and all these people has been using our, leveraging this technology to actually validate how does the network behaves. So DU-RU emulation as well, we test and validate the DU as well as the RU. And of course, you can see that within each component itself, there's also component testing that we have been doing. So one of the things that relates to AI/ML is very much the radio intelligence controller. And right now, we're talking to some customers to bring the radio intelligence controller, which is the brain power of O-RAN, into the space, into NTN. So we have been in talks with some of the governments to actually bring the intelligent controller to how to optimize the constellation. So this is something that is, of course, very complex. We need everybody to work as a team, right? So it's a very aggressive vision. The government wants it to be done within 1 or 2 years. And I think within 2 years, there's a One Japan forum that's coming up in the March of 2025, which is next year now. So there'll be some government agencies that are going to showcase some solution, and we are working with them worldwide. Okay, this is some a little bit flavor of the direction of O-RAN and NTN into 6G. Of course, the demarcation of IT and communication has been merging, as you know. So comes with it, there is a requirement for high security. So with O-RAN working group itself, they have just ratified another working group 11 that talks about security. If some of you are involved in O-RAN. So VIAVI is also very much into this committee, proposing different kind of solution for security reasons. And one of the things that, of course, we also work with Alibaba, we work with all the hypervisors, all right, to make sure that the solution is able to be deployed in the hypervisors itself. So this cloud native solution is something that is driven by the market. So we can see that O-RAN, cloud, IT, 6G, we are all moving together. And NTN is on the roadway. All right, so that is what's happening. AWS, Azure is something that we are working with them day in, day out. So that's the market trend. And just 2 days ago, we won 20 million from the, this is a public announcement. So O-RAN, if you know the NTIA challenge in the NTIA in the US, so it's led by the Biden administrations that funded 1.5 billion the next 10 years up to 2030. So of course, Dish was awarded, it was announced in public, Dish was awarded 50 million to prepare O-RAN. And VIAVI is the second in the row to be awarded 21 million to drive the O-RAN business. And this is something that we are very proud of. Of course, we're humbled to be selected as well. So you can, of course, then in the talk itself, inside Dish founder, I just seen the YouTube that was publicized 2 days ago by the US government. They're also talking about moving O-RAN into NTN together. So that's the direction of the US government into the future. So this is some public sharing. Okay, back to NTN. I think we are looking at a very aggressive market. Of course, my counterparts are working in the US market, which is also very aggressive, and the European market. And together, I think UK itself is also having a lot of drive into 6G technology. There has been a lot of government funding. I was sharing with Sam, just have a small talk yesterday, whereby the government is pushing a lot on driving this ecosystem via the message that I think was shared just now about open concept. This open concept is being driven heavily by the government. And we are seeing, for example, there was actually there's some European partnership with Japan, European partnership with Korea, and within itself, each country also have a lot of initiative and funding from the government to push this research into the next level. So you can see that the growth rate, we are looking at 40% in the next, up to 2028, which is about 5 years' time. So it is very significant. This is from markets and markets research, 40%. So of course, you can see that US is leading in terms of driving this NTN together with, of course, tapping along the O-RAN as well as 6G. And of course, Asia is leading the second one. All right. So this is where we are. It's exciting times. Technical is challenging, always challenging. I mean, that's why we are employed, right? Okay, so in terms of the satellite partnership, we have seen over from last year 35 satellite partnerships all over the world between the operators as well as the satellite providers and across 29 countries worldwide. And of course, the major partnership is major as what was shared just now technically, satellite to cell phone. All right, so this is actually trying to make our job, our life seamless, whether we are in the plane. I was in a flying EVA the day before, and then because it's a Star Alliance, I'm a Star Alliance member. So I think there's this free, once you select roaming with Singtel, they actually allow you to have unlimited roaming in the plane itself. So I was wondering to myself, how do they achieve this unlimited roaming in the air, right? So apparently I didn't use it. I just used the EVA Wi-Fi. But having said that, this is something that, imagine in the plane itself. Of course, that's just one use case. You can actually surf whatever you want, do whatever you want, YouTube, not using the Wi-Fi. Of course, Wi-Fi plane today, is, I remember that just a personal sharing, I was flying back from Auckland, back to Singapore, 11 hours. And of course, that is SQ. It was almost perfect Wi-Fi, and I can make phone call, but intermittently I was disrupted, and my PC access on internet was perfect. So I'm given 10 minutes, so I must be faster. So my point is that all of us wants to have seamless connectivity all the time. So I think that is what is driving this market. And of course, right now, SES, OneWeb, and Space Mobile are leading the partnership with 9 partnership globally. And 11 US satellite providers are planning services in the country, highest number in any region. So US is definitely leading in this adoption. Okay, so this is just January 3rd news. So SpaceX launched the satellite to mobile direct-to-device test connectivity, and they are supplying for T-Mobile, Roger, Optus, KDDI, One New Zealand, Swiss companies, Stop Mobile, and Antal Chile. So these are all that's happening. Of course, I will not cover those that in the news whereby KDDI, SoftBank has been launching satellite and broadband. Also India, just in January, they're talking about working with SpaceX on some broadband, which is a first step towards NTN adoption. Okay, for VIAVI perspective, the key application that NTN will cover a lot of rural areas and enterprise broadband. So in order to do this, we also need to make sure that it is really robust. So the second point is saying that the reliability and resilient mission-critical communication, disasters, and war zones. So these are all the value add of NTN. Of course, currently, we know satellite enables this kind of communication, but to date, we know that it's expensive, right? How many of us have a satellite phone right now? No one, right? It's expensive, right? It's not practical. But the key thing is that mission critical, we really need to make sure that it's seamless, and people like us, we can make contact. I think Japan is driving very hard with all the past experience of tsunami. I think disaster recovery is very, very much in the eyes of Japan. And also for Smart itself, the head of Smart also partner with OmniSpace to explore the coverage, because in Philippines, as you know, that there are 7,000 islands, right, and rural. So this is very, very important for, and also there's a lot of unwanted natural disasters within Philippines archipelago. So we also augment coverage for MMTC, Global Internet Voice and Data Services, IoT, and machine-to-machine direct to cell phone. And of course, currently all the connectivity, satellite TV, nav system is also part of the applications. So I've been talking to some customers in Japan and Korea itself on DVB. Today, DVB satellite is prevalent, and I think in future in the US market, we are looking at people like, I mean, who have been to US and use the DVB satellite in their car. Okay, this is quite common in the US market. So we have working with telcos whereby they want not just the terrestrial and the non-terrestrial seamless handover. To you is seamless, but also they want to have a DVB seamless. That means within the mobility itself, when you're driving a car, you can watch any movie via the satellite services that you pay. So this is merging in terms of the communication technology. And actually currently, as I'm speaking, we are actually pulling our hair out with the factory, with the business unit to come up with a solution which the telco asked us. And some of them asked us for very, very tight timeline, which are telling them that, let's try. So it's really, really a challenge, technically, definitely. But I think with the challenge comes the drive to actually overcome it. So whether be it machine, IoT, quality of service is important. Mission critical communication, security is important. And speed and distance, we talk about the Doppler effect. So these are the things that we need to manage very, very well. Okay, so I will just cover sweeping coverage. So in terms of 5G NTN, we need to look at scale, all right, coverage, as what has been shared just now. Basically, you are talking about many kilometers of coverage, right? And within that many kilometers of coverage, not just longitudinally or latitudinally, you need to make sure that the quality of service is maintained. So with the Doppler effect and also the Earth rotating, these are all the challenges that we face. And also the distance, you're looking at 20 kilometers to 600 kilometers. So we have a lot of proposal from Korea and Japan, and also from Singapore. We are thinking of how to actually mitigate this. And some of the application within maritime industry itself, even in Japan and Singapore, is also very key. So the government itself is really very driving very hard to see how we can leverage this to become a reality. So performance is very important, and stability and reliability is of. So in terms of mission critical, we have yet to go into that, but definitely this is one area that is needed. Right now, we are just trying to crawl first, like a baby, crawl first before we learn how to walk. So we are at this stage right now. So VIAVI is really working with many stakeholders within the government institutions to drive this right now as we speak. And of course, the complication comes when they are satellite to satellite. And just on the example, I talked about TN to non-terrestrial and also to digital video connectivity. So those handovers are really giving us a headache, and satellite to satellite communications and different mesh network, as what was described just now technically. And the last is security. So security is also one of the key agenda. So VIAVI value is that since we have been in terrestrial network testing for the past decade, starting from 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and now working on 6G. So direct to cell is definitely some solution that we are having, and so NB-IoT and NR, and of course different orbits condition, and UV support for Doppler, and so we actually have for terrestrial network we actually have soft fading channel model. So this has been very widely adopted by and very praised, very much praised by the industry because it's all software. There's no hardware because software costs much cheaper. And NTN mobility itself, an interchannel model and path loss. So and also of course, to be honest, we are working with another customer whereby a telco, the NTN is just not just affect the RAN, the core itself come into play. All right, so core itself is also a part whereby we are working with the telcos itself, how to make sure that the core responds well to roaming, responds well to different condition of moving 4G, 5G, and moving to terrestrial network. So end-to-end itself, the entire network itself is affected when we talk about NTN. That's a summary. And the value of VIAVI is that we're actually working with stakeholders within the UK, US, I think Germany, Japan, Korea, and India as well, on a lot of things related to digital twin and NTN. So that's something that they want to replicate in the lab first before they roll out in the field. And then we are working with them on the reliability and resilience. And as we speak, actually a lot of the NTN projects we have you heard of 3D RAN? Three-dimensional RAN? So now it's 2D, right? So this 3D RAN, they are looking at pixelizing the air. Right, so now we are pixelizing the ground. This is the hexagon we cover, right? Terrestrial network. But now we are pixelizing the air. So that means the satellite is able to pixelize the air, how much coverage is needed, and then at different heights. So that's where we are. Okay? So real conditions, as I mentioned just now, is something that is needed. We are actually working very hard to make the channel modeling software-based. And as we speak, we are working with many telcos right now in the world on this technology. And of course, last but not least, in summary, RAN, satellite interface, core network, and RIG is something that RIG part is to NTN based. You're talking about constellation optimization. All right. So in fact, for example, just some public announcement whereby we actually UK has this project for ORAN, £88 million, whereby VIAVI won 3 projects working with different like Sonic Lab in the UK. On 3 projects that is with different vendors on the radio intelligence control. That is for the RIG part. But right now we are moving it up to the space, right? So we call it network RIG, radio intelligence controller. So we are the demand from the market in Japan and US is that they want to optimize the network in the space. So that is where we are right now. That's it. I think I hit the time. So time check, I was asked to say time's up. So I hope that I've added some value to your session today as a last speaker. Thank you.